ABC and stream on Hulu.
Gunshots shattered the peace in a northwest Fresno neighborhood tonight. Bullets fly into a playground, hitting a 10-year-old girl. Despite the efforts of a good Samaritan, that child is fighting for her life tonight. The search for the gunman next on Action News.
Every moment matters. So let's put the phone down and talk, read, and sing with them. Uninterrupted. Because now's the time to show them your love. Let them hear your voice. Learn new words. It builds their self-confidence and makes them strong. And when you do this, you help them succeed in school and in life. Talk, read, sing. It changes everything.
In these changing times, we can offer your business a bit of certainty. Expertise from people who know your industry and understand our region, who can provide custom financial solutions and direct access to local decision makers. We're more than just bankers. We're your advocate for your success, for your business, for you.
Now live at 11, a 10-year-old child is shot on a playground and police are actively looking for the shooter. We'll have the details live from the scene.
And now we turn up the heat. Ahead of us, we could see records.
Plus, city officials worry that improper insurance at Granite Park could pose a pricey liability for Fresno taxpayers in the event of an accident. Why some council members claim that the operator of that park is getting preferential treatment.
Also, a traffic stop ends in a massive drug bust. Authorities find enough fentanyl in one minivan to kill every man, woman, and child in the city of Los Angeles. Live at 11 starts now.
Taking action together. This is Central California's #1 news. ABC 30 Action News. Live at 11.
Notify Southwest that we've got one shooting victim en route to CRMC.
It's going to be a 10-year-old female.
A 10-year-old is in critical condition after she was shot tonight. Police say that little girl was at the playground in northwest Fresno when she was hit. Now, Fresno police are looking for the shooter. Action News reporter Nick Garcia is live in northwest Fresno with the latest on their search and the condition of that young girl. Nick?
Well, this happened a couple hours ago, just around 8 this evening. A 10-year-old girl was shot on the playground here at Park West Apartments at Marks and Alamos Avenues. Police were sent here after 2 separate shot spotter activations. Take a look at this video from a little earlier, though. A good Samaritan, according to police, found the girl alone with the bullet wound on that playground and drove her to the hospital. She was then rushed into surgery and is in critical condition at this time. Still in surgery, as far as we know. The shooter got away before police arrived here. Now, detectives believe there were several people present at the time of the shooting who either ran away or got away from the scene before officers arrived. They're searching for any possible suspects and say they're going to be relying on the public's help.
You know, when you have something like this and we come out here and there's just a one sole victim who was not here. Also, she was taken to the hospital by that Good Samaritan. We have to find those witnesses.
That playground is surrounded by some of the apartment units here. It remains closed at this hour as detectives search for evidence. Now, detectives will be investigating for several more hours, probably until the early morning hours. People who live at the apartments will have to go around to a different entrance, at least until police wrap up their work here. And police really stressing tonight how much they need the public's help in finding that shooter. So anyone with information about what might have happened here is asked to call police, or you can remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers. For now, live in northwest Fresno, I'm Nick Garcia, ABC 30 Action News.
Thank you, Nick. Developing tonight, Sacramento police are revealing new information about Sunday's mass shooting. Investigators confirmed the shooting that killed 6 people and injured 12 others involves gangs. They also shared an update on how many suspects may be responsible for the shootout.
Based off of witness information, victim information, as well as the numerous videos that we have received, we believe at this point there are 5 shooters.
Authorities say 2 groups opened fire on one another. So far, police have identified 2 of the suspected gunmen. 26-year-old DeAndre Martin made his first court appearance yesterday afternoon. His brother, 27-year-old Smiley Martin, is also a suspect in the shooting but is still in the hospital. One of the 6 people killed was a young Selma woman who was celebrating her 21st birthday at a concert just before that gunfire broke out. New at 11, a Mariposa County man has been found guilty of trying to sexually assault another man at a cabin at Yosemite National Park. 31-year-old Charles Porter was convicted of attempted aggravated sexual abuse and abusive sexual contact. In April of 2020, Porter entered a cabin in the employee housing area of the national park. He then tried sexually assaulting a man who was sleeping. The victim started screaming and neighbors rushed in to help him out. Porter will be sentenced in July. He's facing a possible life sentence and a $250,000 fine for that attack. Record high temperatures may be on the way. Here's a live look now from our downtown Fresno sky cam tonight. We're heating up into the 90s starting tomorrow, but those conditions will change dramatically as we get through the weekend. And get ready, Kevin calls it weather whiplash. He's tracking tomorrow's rise in temperatures right now. Kevin?
Yeah, some big changes. Today in Fresno, the high was 82. It's 69 right now. Little or no wind out there, so the cool down, that's ended after today. And here's where things are headed for tomorrow. At daybreak, even warmer, 57. Midday, beyond today's high with an 85. We're going up by about 10 degrees to a 93. Milder over the weekend and still rain in the forecast at the start of next week, Warren.
Kevin, thank you. New tonight, 2 Fresno City Council members are drawing attention to a park that could pose a liability for city taxpayers and cost them tens of millions of dollars. The councilmen claim Granite Park in central Fresno is one accident away from a massive lawsuit that would end up being paid for with public funds, and they also say an inadequate insurance policy is to blame. Action News reporter Alyssa Flores is live at Fresno City Hall tonight after speaking with the operator of Granite Park. Alyssa?
Yeah, Warren, developer Terrence Frazier, he is the president of the organization that operates Granite Park. He's also the fiance of Fresno Council member Esmeralda Soria, which is why council members Gary Bredefeld and Mike Carbasi feel that the rest of the council is looking the other way when it comes to this inadequate insurance policy.
This is the current insurance policy for Granite Park Sports Complex in central Fresno, where games, children's sports, and special events that include alcohol are held. What you won't see included in this document is liability protection for the city of Fresno.
The city can be sued for tens of millions of dollars with absolutely no protection.
Council members Mike Carbasi and Gary Bredefeld say it's one of the ways that Terrence Frazier, president of Central Valley Community Sports Foundation, which runs Granite Park, is violating the lease agreement with the city, in addition to defaulting on utility payments. Frazier is the fiancé of council member Esmeralda Soria, and though she's recused herself from Granite Park-related matters, Bredefeld and Carbasi claim that the relationship is the reason council hasn't taken action against Frazier.
They have never let somebody not have insurance to protect the taxpayer. Never. Never. Only here. I wonder why.
Mayor Jerry Dyer and city manager Georgianne White say Frazier switched insurance policies a year ago. For months, the city attorney has made sure Frazier was aware the current policy does not cover the city, which is required in the Granite Park lease agreement.
There are baseball bats, balls, small children, liquor. It's not a matter of, if, it's a matter of when. And having the city exposed to this type of liability literally keeps me up at night.
Dyer says only city council has the ability to evict a tenant from city property.
If that authority did rest with my administration, that action would have already been taken.
Frazier confirmed with Action News that he became aware that the insurance policy is inadequate months ago.
What I've been trying to do is try to find someone that will give me this insurance that the city wants. So it's not like I'm not trying.
The park has fallen behind on over $100,000 in utility payments, much of which the city has stepped in and covered. Frazier says that's because the $150,000 the city contributes to run the park is not enough funding. Frazier sued Fresno city officials in 2020 for racist treatment after Granite Park was audited, which he says damaged his reputation and cost him millions.
I have no idea why are they coming after us so hard other than political motivation.
Now, Fresno's city manager tells us that she did submit a couple of requests to get this insurance matter on tomorrow's closed session meeting agenda. That has not happened. We did speak with Council President Nelson Esparza, who says that his office is still trying to determine if getting that issue on a special meeting agenda is necessary. In downtown Fresno, Alyssa Flores, ABC 30 Action News.
Thank you, Alyssa. In Valley headlines tonight, 19-year-old Giovanni Rodriguez and 18-year-old Rafael Ordaz Gonzalez pleaded not guilty to murder charges. They're accused of shooting and killing Devin Johnson at a North Fresno bowling alley in February. The city of Reedley is holding an employment fair this Saturday morning at Pioneer Park. Job seekers can meet with more than 21 employers, including Fresno EDC and the Reedley Police Department. The Fresno Humane Society says its animal shelter is full and they're in urgent need of kennel space. Now is a great time to adopt a shelter dog, and adoption fees are waived for any dog already spayed or neutered. New tonight on Education Watch, the Chowchilla Union High School District is looking to build a new educational and athletic facility. The district has approved a new bond measure that will be on the June 7th ballot. If approved by voters, the district will receive funding to transform a 22-acre lot into a new sports facility. It would include a jogging track, football, baseball, and softball fields near Chowchilla Union High School. The bond measure would also fund a new building for the district's career technical education program. Police in Southern California made a massive drug bust, deadly dope, where officers uncovered enough fentanyl with the potential to kill more than 4 million people. Also, death and destruction in Ukraine. The war atrocities by the Russians are growing, as does the international outrage over their actions. The new sanctions against President Putin and his family.
What started out as a documentary,
it's not something that you ever want to try,
has turned into action from the community.
Operation Killer High, the team seized 55,000 M30 pills.
Taking action to keep our families safe.
You're seeing an example of a task force that works.
Taking action towards a better Central California.
And continue to keep our foot on the pedal with our media partners at ABC 30.
ABC 30 Action News. Taking action together.
Here we go now.
Rawhide Baseball is back.
Here we go.
Opening weekend, presented by Budweiser and Bueno Beverage Company, starts Friday, April 8th at Valley Strong Ballpark. Family, fun, affordable entertainment. For tickets, go to ViseliaRawhide.com.
Quality Carpets Design Center is your trusted source for Hunter Douglas window fashions. Come in today and discover the art of window dressing with Hunter Douglas. And see the latest styles and colors for your decor. Arrange a free in-home estimate today from Quality Carpets Design Center in Clovis.
Me and Ed's large one-topping pizza is so good, so fresh, and so affordable. At just $12.50, it gets its own moment of silence. Only at Me and Ed's.
We're all on the journey for better health. Take the first step for a healthier you.
Did you know that your mood, cravings, and even your appetite can be influenced by the health of your gut? Join us for a live online seminar to learn about things that can affect gut health, what lifestyle habits you can change, and which foods support a healthy gut.
Join us on the quest.
Taking action together. This is ABC 30 Action News, live at 11. With Warren Armstrong, Margot Kim, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Musso, and Sports Director Stephen Hicks.
New tonight, a massive drug bust out of Southern California. Authorities arrested 2 men who investigators say had enough fentanyl to kill more than 4 million people. Police pulled over a minivan in Buena Park last month. Officers searched the van and found 20 pounds of fentanyl, 200 pounds of cocaine, and more than 800 pounds of meth. The Orange County District Attorney says a lethal dose of fentanyl could be as small as 2 milligrams. That means the 20 pounds they discovered could have killed up to 4.7 million people, or the entire population of the city of Los Angeles. There is a major fentanyl crisis here in Central California. You can learn more about the efforts by local law enforcement to stop the deadly drug by watching Killer High, The Silent Crisis. You can play it on demand or watch it on our free ABC 30 apps for Roku, Amazon, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Android TV. President Biden tonight is announcing a new wave of sanctions against Russia. The U.S. is banning all new investments in Russia and is punishing its largest banks. These developments come as Ukraine says it's uncovering new atrocities from Russian forces. ABC's Morgan Norwood has an update on the war and the upcoming vote that could suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council.
As Russian troops pull out of key cities around the capital of Kyiv, the devastation left behind for the world to see. From homes destroyed to bodies buried under the rubble, the horrifying discoveries worsened by the day. ABC's James Longman is in northern Ukraine.
As we push north, everywhere we go, we've got to go very slowly because the Russians mined the whole of northern Ukraine, basically, and so you just don't know what's out there.
The outrage over the atrocities also mounting. President Joe Biden announcing a fresh round of sanctions, banning all new investment in Russia, penalizing its largest banks, and even sanctioning two of Vladimir Putin's adult daughters.
There's nothing less happening than major war crimes. And together with our allies and our partners, we're going to keep raising the economic cost and ratchet up the pain for Putin and further increase Russia's economic isolation.
The Justice Department also confirming U.S. prosecutors are working with counterparts in Europe to investigate potential Russian war crimes. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accusing Russia of attempting to hide evidence in his daily address, saying they will not succeed. Though Russia has withdrawn some of its forces from Kyiv, fighting has increased in Ukraine's east, with officials there urging people to evacuate. It's a task that's proven challenging in places like Mariupol, where the International Committee of the Red Cross is still dodging the Russians in order to rescue civilians.
Ceasefire are fragile, and we really urge the parties to make such necessary agreement to make sure that people can flee.
After several failed rescue attempts, more than 1,000 were able to escape Mariupol on their own, later meeting up with the Red Cross and its resources.
This is really an apocalyptic situation there.
The UN General Assembly has scheduled a Thursday vote on suspending Russia from the UN Human Rights Council. Two-thirds majority is needed for the suspension. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Supporters of the Fresno Chaffee Zoo are launching a new campaign to extend Measure Z. The sales tax has funded many improvements at the zoo. The proposed renewal will be on the ballot this June. If approved, it would keep the current tax rate in place in Fresno County for the next 15 years. The 0.1% sales tax passed in 2004. The Sea Lion Cove was the first big project to get built using Measure Z money a decade ago.
We have built a number of cutting-edge exhibits from Sea Lion Cove to African Adventures to a new one that's going to open early next year called Kingdoms of Asia, which represents Southeast Asia and the wildlife and cultures that inhabit there.
Opponents say Measure Z was never meant to be a permanent tax. They believe this is the wrong time to ask residents to commit to another 15 years of taxation. A Fresno woman finds a time capsule treasure at a local thrift shop. Mysterious envelope, what she uncovered inside an old dresser drawer, and how Action News helped her track down the family it belongs to.
At Monarch, we focus on keeping your AC working so that you can focus on enjoying life. And right now, you can schedule a cooling tune-up so that your AC is ready for the summer. Monarch Home Services. Keep home comfortable.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women or in men with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Coming up, Kevin Musso with the ABC 30 AccuWeather forecast, the most accurate forecast in Central California.
At Kfsn, we've spent the last 40 years testing the strength and durability of our buildings in some pretty unique ways. And we're still hard at work making sure that our buildings are built to last. Just see for yourself. Is it ready?
It's ready.
Experience the Kfsn difference for yourself at Kfsn.com.
Maintenance on a vehicle is important to the longevity of it. We're seeing a lot more high mileage vehicles, so I think that actually plays more into the need to maintain your vehicle better than maybe you used to. We do a really good job of offering prepaid maintenances to our customers that buy a car from us. You reduce it to a few dollars a month in their monthly payment, and then I can just bring my car in and maintain it in accordance with the factory recommendations.
It was a little bit warm today, but take a look at the trend for tomorrow. We're going to be in the mid and upper 50s in the morning, and these red columns are an indication that the 90s are waiting for you. I am forecasting a 93 tomorrow afternoon. The ridge of high pressure is starting to move inland eastward as it does and centers over the top of us, and especially once we get that really strong offshore flow pattern set up, we're going to see temperatures on the rise. But after the weekend, where we drop back to the 80s on Saturday, 70s on Sunday, this cold air mass wants to plunge into California on Monday in the afternoon and evening with rain in the valley. It looks like east of 99 and into the mountains. These models are emphasizing that pattern. Notice how there's a rain shadow over here on the west side of the valley, and it looks like the chances for rain are better along the 99 corridor eastward into the mountains. So let's take a look at the rainfall projections, and you can pretty much see that the numbers are much higher right along the 99 and dry to the west side. Also, the mountains would be great to see somewhere between 1/4 of an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain, but this is what really stands out. For the second night in a row, the projection of snowfall totals have been quite high. They may not pan out to be this high, somewhere between 1 inch or 2 down here in the southern Sierra Nevada and maybe more than 1 foot at the higher elevations. But the other aspect of this is it's cold air. So the mountain communities from Mariposa to Springville could be in for a dusting of snow as well, down to say somewhere around 3,000 feet or lower. I checked the freezing levels for Tuesday morning and they're around 2,500 feet. So that would add up. So we'll see how this thing pans out. Right now we're 7 degrees warmer in Fresno than we were 24 hours ago. So the stage is set tomorrow for a much warmer day than the low 80s. Certainly, I expect to see low 90s. It's 69 right now. Moderate air quality throughout the entire valley floor. Skies above the valley are clear this evening. It'll be 57 at daybreak, and then tomorrow afternoon, an unseasonably warm day at 93. That means the entire valley should be at least in the low 90s in some locations. Same in the foothills and same in the high Sierra, a warming trend of 8 to 10 degrees. By the time we get to Friday, it could even be warmer than that by 1 degree or 2. That's what we're forecasting here, a 96 for Friday. Then the transition over the weekend, and then as you can see, the chance of showers on Monday and Tuesday, with the snowfall perhaps being more productive than the rainfall at the start of next week.
All right, thank you, Kevin. A Fresno woman found a mysterious manila envelope inside a dresser she recently bought. The envelope was loaded with family keepsakes, and now she's looking for the rightful owner. Angela Hoffneck picked up the dresser from a thrift shop last month. She opened a drawer and found an envelope inside. It was filled with old newspaper clippings, pictures, and letters. The newspaper articles from the 80s focused on a man named Daniel Grady. He was recognized for helping a Clovis police officer who was being attacked. Hoffneck learned that Grady was a former principal at Fireball High. He passed away in 2020, but Hoffneck jumped on Facebook to find his family.
I think it landed in the hands of the right person, because I don't think anybody else would have even gave it a second chance. I just want to make sure it gets back to their rightful owners and they could preserve them however they would like to.
When she couldn't find anyone, she reached out to Action News. Today, we helped her connect with Grady's family, who says they accidentally lost the envelope. They plan to pick up those sentimental items from Hoffnecht, and they are very, very grateful to her for finding it and turning it over. Other people might not have done that.
That's
so very
an
nice.
awesome story.
It really is. All right, get ready for the Boys of Summer. They're coming this week.
Boys of Summer, the Masters tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bree was asking me what my Masters setup. It's multiple screens. That's the only way to do it tomorrow. And we're also less than 48 hours from opening day in the Cal League. Coming up, here are the Rawhide are gearing up for Friday night. Plus, last week, tragedy hit the Carruthers community. See how the Blue Raiders came together tonight to raise money with a shoot-a-thon for one of their own.
The Kardashians are here tonight. Chris, Courtney, Kim, Khloe, Kendall, and Kinko. Is there a Kinko?
Plus, Rob Gronkowski.
If all goes well, maybe we'll have a second Rob in the Kardashian family.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
2 charbroiled patties, bacon, and melty cheese, dressed in sweet and tangy Carolina Gold barbecue sauce. Respect the drip for just $3.99 with our latest charbroiled double deal. Bite into the new Gold Digger double cheeseburger at Carl's Jr.
A Toyota Hybrid is the perfect balance of gas and electric power. And with 11 models to choose from, there's one for everyone. Now you can go further without worrying about recharging, because no plugs means incredible MPG with no charging downtime. Plus, Toyota's hybrid battery warranty covers 10 years or 150,000 miles for added peace of mind. And when you combine incredible plug-free MPG, legendary reliability, and more models than any other brand, Toyotas are the perfect hybrid of everything you want and everything you need. Toyota, let's go places.
COVID-19 vaccines help save lives. Centro La Familia Advocacy Services is offering a series of free COVID-19 vaccine clinics. Clinics provide the first and second doses, as well as the booster. The first 30 people who get the vaccine are guaranteed a $50 gift card. Centro La Familia also offers weekly testing for the COVID virus. For more information about testing or the next clinic, call Centro La Familia Advocacy Services at the number on the screen.
Why was Jacoby & Myers voted the #1 injury law firm 3 years in a row? Because we have experienced attorneys, we deliver for our clients, and we win again and again. We get our clients up to 10 times the original insurance offer. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
For just $3.99, you could get 2 patties, sizzling bacon, and melty cheese, dripping in tangy sweet Carolina Gold barbecue sauce. That's a lot of gold for just $3.99. Bite into the new Gold Digger double cheeseburger, part of charbroiled double deals at Carl's Jr.
Well, the long wait is nearly over. Opening day tomorrow for Major League Baseball, and the season opener in the California League set for this Friday. Today, the Diamondbacks releasing the opening day roster for the Visalia Rawhide. Friday night, they're going to open that season against Rancho Cucamonga. Today, the team getting ready after getting back in town from spring training. That roster features outfielder Jason Roberson, a 16th round draft pick from Bakersfield, who remembers playing his section final games on this field back in high school.
My freshman year in high school, on my 15th birthday, we won the championship on this field. And then my senior year in high school, like days after my 18th birthday, we won the championship again. All my old coaches reached out to me and said, hey, you're back in Visalia. So, I mean, it's special for all of us, and I'm just happy to be back.
Jordan Lawler, the 6th overall pick in last year's draft, set to start at short for the Rawhide on opening day, and he says his whole career to this point has led him to this opportunity.
Playing baseball every day, every summer, everything. So I'm ready to get out here, show what that has done for my life and my career, and get it started.
Did you have a favorite player growing up?
Derek Jeter, for sure, yeah. May or may not be a Yankees fan, we'll see.
Last Thursday, tragedy hit Carruthers. 8th grader Connor Gamboa collapsed and later died unexpectedly. Tonight, the Blue Raiders holding a fundraiser for his family. Connor was a huge sports fan, especially the girls basketball team down there in Carruthers. His dad Jose says they only moved to town a year ago, and says it's been special seeing the community rally around his family. Tonight, the school holding a free throw and three-point-a-thon to raise money, and that was headlined by Connor's favorite player, Morgan Triguero.
This is her warm-up, and he would always hold her warm-up before every single game, hand it to her at halftime. She'd bring it back at halftime, give it to him. He would always make highlight videos of her. He was always recording her, and he loves Mo buckets. And
Well, Mo brought the buckets tonight. She hit 32 three-pointers. Her teammate Anisha Torres went 90% from the charity stripe. That's 45 of 50 shots. All in all, the Blue Raiders raising more than $9,000 tonight for the Gamboa family.
Greater concern to me is a trend of star players not participating in a full complement of games.
Commissioner Adam Silver says he doesn't have any solution for why players aren't sitting, but he hinted at changing the 82-game schedule going forward. Tonight, the Suns sitting Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Jay Crowder for tonight's game against the Clippers. Paul George and company able to take advantage. Former Roll Dog had 19 points, 4 assists, and was a rebound shy of a double-double. Clippers had a 39-point lead, but Phoenix able to claw back in this one to make it a contest. They ended up losing, but only by 4. LA will face Minnesota in the play-in game. Finally, before the seriousness of round 1 of the Masters, the par 3 contest having a family affair there on the grounds of Augusta National. They didn't need that sand, Warren. Players bringing their caddies out, their kids out to caddy for them. And in the case of Sungjae Im, his father, who hits it to 5 feet, and take a look at the celebration. Just so much joy there. I can't get over Sungjae's smile there after his father hit it to 5 feet. That was incredible.
That was a great shot. 5 feet from the cup, right?
Based on the swing, it looked like he hadn't played much golf, and so I think that's why Sungjae was so surprised. But it was pretty awesome to see.
Right. You're glued to the tube tomorrow, watching Bryson and this guy named Tiger.
Yeah, we'll see if he tees it up. All signs appear to be for him to go.
It's going to be an exciting day. All right. Yep. Thank you very much. A local organization has been making a positive impact on the lives of countless people for decades. How you can help them continue their life-saving efforts. Watch our 24/7 streaming service featuring live newscasts, breaking news, and weather. It's the only place you can watch our 7 p.m. newscast with Margot, Kevin, and me. We're now live and local until 7:30 on the ABC 30 Central California app, wherever you stream, including Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. We're also live on your phone or your home computer at abc30.com.
Closed captioning of Action News is sponsored by Fresno Mitsubishi.
Busted? Original Gorilla Glue, of course. Works indoor, works outdoor. It's weatherproof, it's waterproof. It's versatile and incredibly strong for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Whoa. How do they get these things to smell so good? Must be magic. Hefty Ultra Strong with Fabuloso Scent.
Get ready to lounge in style with more furniture for less.
Our most comfortable, best-selling reclining sectionals are in stock and on sale.
Get this oversized dual power sectional with 3 reclining seats for only $29.95.
Or choose this leather 6-piece sectional with 3 power reclining seats for only $29.95.
And this 6-piece sectional with chaise is only $29.95. Any one you choose features maximum comfort and space for the whole family.
Get these values in stock and on sale right now, only at More Furniture.
At LongJohnSilvers.com, you can order online and sail past the line. Pick up a boatload of grilled shrimp, hand-battered shrimp, or popcorn shrimp. Your choice for just $10. Order ahead at LongJohnSilvers.com. Fish, yeah!
Home is many things. Home is a place to play, a place to raise a family, a place to relax. At Monarch, we focus on keeping your AC working so that you can focus on enjoying life. And right now, you can schedule a cooling tune-up so that your AC is ready for the summer. Monarch Home Services. Keep home comfortable.
Wake up with Morning Money. Weekdays on ABC 30 Action News AM Live. Sponsored by Save Mart. Save with quality brands at Save Mart. Valley Fresh, Valley Made, Valley Proud.
It's time to raise the bear. Fresno Grizzlies baseball is back, and we want to see you at Chachansey Park for opening night. Join in on the fun Friday, April 8th with post-game fireworks presented by Fresno Clovis Convention and Visitors Bureau, a magnet scheduled giveaway from our friends at the Central California Blood Center, and more. Tickets start at just $12 and are available now at FresnoGrizzlies.com or by giving the team a call at 559-320-TIXS. Don't miss the start of the Grizzlies' 20th season in downtown Fresno Friday, April 8th at Chachansey Park.
ABC 30 and the Poverello House are teaming up for the Call for Hope Telethon tomorrow. Tonight we're celebrating one of the center's brightest success stories. Kurt Harris currently works as a community engagement coordinator for the center, but when he was just 16, he developed a drug addiction and went to jail for stealing cars. In 2020, Harris was released from jail and sent to the Poverello House. He entered a drug rehabilitation program, and that was the start of his big turnaround.
It's not easy to just think you can get out and do it on your own. You know, you need that help, you need that support, and coming into a program like this, you know, after being incarcerated, it improves your success rate.
Life transformation is exciting. Stories like that happen every day at Poverello House, and it's what keeps us going. Whether it's calling to donate, or whether it's coming down to volunteer or drop off clothing, we're only able to do our work because the community allows us to do so.
Once again, the Call for Hope Telethon runs all day tomorrow, starting on AM Live. If you want to give early, you can donate now by texting POV to the number on your screen or by visiting poverellohouse.org, and thank you for doing so. That wraps up tonight's edition of Action News Live at 11. Thanks a lot for joining us. Good night, everybody.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Tonight, the Kardashians, Rob Gronkowski, and Machine Gun Kelly pranks fans with Cleto and the Cletones. And now, Jimmy